What's up guys, Ricky Floppy camera here from Cloud9 CSGO with my boy JT. We're going to be discussing how to default on Dust 2. So like we spoke about on Inferno, defaulting is pretty much just acquiring information for your team to use so you can gain as much tactical advantage as you can, so you know where people are and you can use that information to gain your team an advantage in the middle of the round. So pretty much a standard Dust 2 default is you have one guy sitting outside long holding for the CT push, you have one dude sitting upper B tunnel holding for the B push, and then the remaining 3 players try and take cat control with a bunch of utility like a flash and Molotov. Take cat like this. And that's literally how you default on this map.
So on your default, if you want to clear close mid before you take cat, you could line up this molly for close doors. It also clears the cover, you just aim in this corner. And as it lands, you just spam on this door on the long line. Because if he was in the cubby, he's going to be running back like this, you might get a free kill. And then after your molly, if your AWPer wants to peek left side mid, because it's very common for AWPers to stand here, you could line up the same lineup, just with a flash. Throw a flash like that blinds the whole mid, and you and your AWPer can peek mid together. Your AWPer would usually be on cat.
So usually during a default, where most of the action happens is on cat, depending on like the CT's setups or whatever. But if you want to take cat control, you can come here, stay crouched and aim here. You throw a flashbang, and it pretty much full blinds anyone on cat, especially people who opt the ledge right here. And if you want to take cat in a different way, you can also come in this corner like this and aim here and throw a molly, and that molly's the ledge. And you can combine that with a lower flash as well and swing with it, and then they have cat control like that.
So after your default on Dust 2, once you have cat control and you've cleared close mid with the molly and the flash like I showed, the whole point of defaulting on Dust 2 is to find out where the rotator is, because the easiest way for the Ts to beat the CTs on this map is to find out if the CT rotator from the CTs is in middle or if he's in A. And with that information, you can decide whether your team wants to go mid B or go cat or do an A split, for example, because wherever the mid rotator is, that's where the 3 CTs are. If he's in middle, there's only going to be 2 A. If he's on A, there's only going to be 2 B. So that's the easiest way on this map, just to decide where you want to go. Most common things would be cat execs, B splits, B pops, or A splits. So once you've taken the side on Dust 2, the easiest way to discuss your after plants is just planning for where you came from. So if I came from cat, I would plant for cat right over here. If I came from long, I would plant in front of the box for long, or for platform here, right here for long as well. And then the rest of your teammates would just, for example, if you planted for cat, would fall back to cat, make sure they keep control of this. Maybe leave one guy quad, just so you're not all in the same spot. And then if you plant for long, same thing, like some of your teammates should fall back to long. Make sure you keep control of long, because you planted with that, and it's really hard for the CTs to retake the side on Dust 2 when the bomb's planted for you. There's nothing really they can throw at you. Smokes or flashes aren't really that optimal on A side on Dust 2.
So once you have B, it's like actually incredibly hard for CTs to retake because there's only 2 choke points. And for instance, if you go through window, there's so many angles you have to look at. You have to worry about car, tunnel, big box, back plat, back site, double stack, default even. There's like over 8 spots you have to worry about. So staying alive in a post plant is like super important. You don't have to go super aggressive and peek window or swing out door, because there's no reason to. You have so many good spots to play in this site in a post plant. Typically where people plant is right here. Everyone calls the spot default because it's pretty much the best spot. The CTs have to look at this corner in order to defuse. They can't just like look, if the bomb's planted here, they can't look at the tunnel. They have to stare at the corner. And good post plant positions are like underneath window, car as well, because you can play anti and they can't see you. And big box is another good spot because you can swivel between holding window and door. And yeah, those are definitely the most optimal positions to play in an after plant.
Dusty is commonly a T-sided map for the main reason that the CTs don't have many things to push. Like once the Ts are on cat, you can't really get them out. Once the Ts are waiting in tunnels, it's not really possible for the CTs to push tunnels against them or anything really. There's no real spots for the CTs to aggress on. And then at the same time for the CTs, there's too many choke points for them to hold, and the map's too big for them all to be together. Like usually you'll find just one guy holding long or just one guy holding A side, one guy in B sometimes. The CTs pretty much have to gamble every time, like every single round they gotta just gamble and just try and guess where the Ts are going. And that's the reason why I said on the defaults, the biggest information that you can get is where the rotator is. And that's what makes it so T-sided. Most of the time the Ts will be fighting 5v2 instead of 5v4 and 5v3. Thanks for watching, guys. That was basic T-side defaulting on Dust 2. Let us know in the comments what you guys would like us to go over next. Thanks for watching.